Karen demanded donuts straight from the fryer, so I gave her exactly what she wanted. When I was 15, I got my first paid job working for the fair. I worked for the privately owned donut vendor, which tasted better and paid better than the show donut vendors. Fast forward 4 years, when I decided to travel with the show. I was 19, and it was easier to travel at this point because I could sign my own forms. Being 19, I needed more money for school and the like. We started in my home city and made our way across the country, visiting city after city. We were in Edmonton when our story really begins. Now the travel crew is pretty small, and we hire our bagging and cashier staff locally. I, along with senior crew members, am in charge of training the baggers, re-oiling the machines, switching out the dough canisters, making sure they are running, and putting out donuts in a consistent manner. As I am checking dough levels and teaching a bagger how to efficiently fill bags for the evening rush, I hear a commotion behind me. Cue entitled woman. Karen, no, I want the fresh ones. Bagger, ma'am, these are fresh, I just made them. Karen, no, I want them to be fresh, make me new ones. I didn't see you make those, they could be old. It was 9 in the morning. At this point in the day, most donuts are made to order, so those donuts wouldn't have been older than 5 minutes. The bagger calls me to turn on his machine to start the donuts. These machines are so temperamental and really old, because the owner built them himself many moons ago. But I love them because they make perfect donuts that travel in a circular conveyor belt in 400-degree oil. They're a lot of fun to watch. I start the machine and scoop out the first few rejects and make 15 donuts. The donuts fall off the belt into the glass case, and the bagger slots them into the sugar and into a bag. He hands them to her, and she dramatically sighs. Karen, ooh, no, I want the fresh ones, and those have touched the old ones. How do I know you didn't mix them up? I don't believe they're fresh. I want fresh donuts. Bagger, ma'am, those are fresh. I made sure to pick only the new ones out. Again, she huffs and puffs, so I fire up the machine again, scoop out the rejects, and make 15 donuts. This time, I grab the new bag and place the bag right under the chute, so the donuts have no choice but to fall into the bag. They do. I hand it to the bagger and walk away just to have to turn around again. Karen, no, I want the ones directly out of the oil, that way I know they're fresh. Those ones have cooled down and are not fresh anymore. Me, sorry ma'am, but that is against the policy. The oil is 400 degrees, and besides, they're not done cooking. Karen, I want the fresh ones, get me your supervisor. My supervisor is off doing supervisor things, and I don't feel like calling her. She's also a lifer and doesn't take flack from anyone. And I know if I call her and she's busy, this woman will leave crying. So to avoid this, I say, I am the supervisor on duty right now, and the policy states we can't give you donuts from the oil. There is no policy, but it's common sense. Karen, I have been a patron of this company for so many plus years. I have never been denied a fresh donut. This is so unprofessional. I want to talk to the owner right now. At this point, I'm on day 5 of this show, and we work an hour before open to an hour after close. Depending on the show and after some new laws, roughly 16 hours daily. I'm tired of her, and in general, that's when I get a brilliant idea. I smile. Me, there is no need for that. I will get you your fresh donuts. I start up the machine again and discard the rejects. I then grab a bag and let the donuts plop into the oil for half a second and scoop them out immediately. Not long enough to get hot, but also not long enough to hold a shape. I then take the bag of dough and sprinkle in some cinnamon sugar and say, as sugary as I can muster. Here you go. Sorry for the inconvenience. Enjoy the rest of your day. She smiles smugly, having thought she got her way. About 10 paces later, she stuck her hand into the bag, and I hear a squeal, a snarl, and then some swearing. That's when Greg, not his real name, one of the senior machine guys, returned from his break. Greg was a legend when it comes to dealing with Karens. He makes it a hobby to seek them out for fun on his breaks, so he can tear into them. He once told a heavy customer in a scooter he would not sell her 50 bags of donuts because he didn't want to be responsible for her coronary, and could not have that on his heart, and that she should take her business to the other donut stall. He can be quite savage. I don't condone his behavior, and sometimes he scares me. But this is also why I like working under him, because it means Karens never get away with their nonsense. The woman came storming back and demanded a refund, and demanded I be fired. He asked why, and she screamed, "That woman sold me a bag of dough." Greg asked me if that was true. I smiled sheepishly and said yes, and explained she did not want the fresh donuts off the belt. She wanted the fresh donuts from the oil and would not leave till I gave them to her. Greg turned to her and said, "Sorry for that, but we don't issue refunds to dumbasses, so take your fresh donuts and leave before I start pelting you with these donuts. You have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3. She tried to huff and puff, at which point he took the bag of donuts she did not want and began pelting her with them. After she left, he told me he was proud of me and would let the boss know. I got an extra $100 in my per diem for that week.